If you graduate college with no internships, your chances of finding a job are just 32%. Now, if you get unpaid internships, then your chances go up to 44%. But if you land a paid internship, then your chances of finding a job skyrocket to 72%. The fact is that paid internships give you higher chances of getting a job and you'll get paid more throughout your career. So let's talk about the highest paid internships. Hey everyone, my name is Hisham Khan and welcome to Income Over Outcome, where I give you college and personal finance tips. It's really important that you have at least 2 to 3 internships if you want to get a good job right out of college. But there's one principle I've always stood by, and that's never taking an internship that doesn't pay me, because I believe if a company values you, then they're going to pay you for your time. When a company pays you, they have greater incentive to make sure you're learning valuable skills that will actually benefit their company. Now, I know it can be harder to find paid internships in some industries than others. I work in healthcare and I know a ton of people who settled for unpaid internships, but I knew the value of my time, so I put in loads of extra work to make sure I found the right internships. Of the 3 internships I had throughout college, all of them were paid. Now, it wasn't easy to find those, and there's a lot of work you need to do to make sure you're getting right internships. I've already talked about how to do that, and I'm going to continue to make more videos on it because honestly, your internships are more important to your success than your actual degree. But for this video, let's focus on what internships will pay you the most. None of the internships I had paid me as much as the ones in this video. I'm pretty sure the most I ever got paid was like 20 bucks an hour, which was a lot to me as a college student. It was enough to pay for really nice spring break trips and invest in the stock market, which is really all I needed. But honestly, your experience matters way more than the amount you're getting paid, so you shouldn't focus too much on that. It's just mind-blowing to me how much some kids make during their internships. Comment right now what companies or industries you think have the highest paid internships, and let's see who is right. The internships I'm going to talk about are highly competitive. You usually need one other internship before you can even get one of these, and the high pay reflects the high expectations these companies have from their interns. So let's get into it. In 4th place, we have consulting internships. Now, if you're a regular at Income Over Outcome, then you should be familiar with consulting because I'm a consultant myself, and I talk all about it in a bunch of other videos. So I won't go into detail on what exactly consultants do right now. Top consulting firms like McKinsey, Bain, and BCG pay their undergraduate interns around $7,000 a month. That's $18,000 for a 10-week internship, and that's totally wild until you realize MBA interns get paid $12,000 a month, which is $32,000 for 10 weeks. Getting into these top-tier consulting firms is extremely difficult. Usually they only recruit out of highly ranked schools like the Ivy Leagues, and they look for people who go above and beyond both in and outside of the classroom. That's not to say it's impossible to work at one of these places unless you go to an Ivy League. I know some people who went to state schools and they still got jobs at top-tier consulting firms. It's just a lot more difficult. Mid-tier consulting firms like Accenture and Deloitte are much more attainable to get into. They recruit out of top schools, but then also schools like Rutgers, NYU, and Ohio State. But they're still really competitive because their pay is around $35 an hour. Plus you get overtime and sometimes even a signing bonus. That means you'll average around $5,600 a month. Now, even if you work at a lower tier consulting firm, you'll still make around $25 an hour, and that's $4,000 a month or $10,000 for a 10-week internship. Imagine finishing up the summer with that much money in your bank account.
Oh my God!
If you watch my video about the highest paying jobs out of college, then it shouldn't surprise you at all that investment banking is also on this list. Investment banking interns at top banks like Goldman, JP Morgan, and Barclays make around $6,500 a month if you're an undergrad. Now, as an MBA, you could make $10,000 a month. For context, the average American makes just $4,000 a month, and you would be earning well over that as a college student. There's a few things you can do to better position yourself to land a high-paying investment investment banking internship. And the first is to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. You also don't necessarily need a finance degree. Accounting is much more versatile and it could get you an investment banking internship. I talk about why exactly that is in this video over here. I know some people who had engineering majors and they still got into investment banking. The key is to start early on in your college career. Join investment clubs and business frats to show your interest in the field, and then use that to network with alumni in investment banking and start learning the technical side of things like financial modeling and sharpening your Excel skills. That's going to set you up to get a finance-related internship after your first or second year in college. Then you'll have the experience investment banks look for in their interns. In second place, we have tech. If you guessed that tech had the highest paid internships, then you're basically right. Tech companies totally dominate the list of the highest paid internships. What's great is the top tech companies offer a bunch of different types of internships, from marketing to product design and even data roles, all of which are really high paid, but the highest paid roles tend to involve software engineering. You should research the skills needed for whatever role you want to apply to and work on refining those, and make sure you get other internships your first or second years in that field. If you want a software engineering internship, you should make sure you have really good technical skills like coding. Most people tend to be computer science majors, but you don't necessarily need that. All the companies care about is what skills you bring to the table. But surprisingly, that's not nearly enough to break into a top tech company. You actually need to know people there. No one's going to look at your resume, no matter how good it is, if you just apply online. These 5 companies have the highest paid tech internships. First, we have Microsoft, who pays interns a median salary of $7,250 a month, followed by Google at $7,500 a month. Salesforce is around $7,600, and then Amazon pays around $7,700. The highest paid is Facebook, who pays interns a median salary of $8,000 a month. Most of these internships are around 12 weeks, which means you would make around $24,000 for the entire summer. And finally, the highest paid internships are in fintech. I'll be very surprised if any of you guess that, because not many people talk about it. It's basically a combination of finance and technology, and these internships are reserved for actual geniuses. The highest pay is at hedge funds like 2 Sigma, Jane Street, and D.E. Shaw, mainly in software engineering and finance quant roles, and their salaries blow everyone else's in this video out of the water. The job involves working on software and algorithms to bring in billions of dollars to the hedge fund, and that's why these people make so much money. The kids who intern at these companies are amazing at programming and have insane analytical and critical thinking skills. This is way more competitive to get into than any of the other internships on this list. Before you even get an interview, you have to pass technical tests, and then you have multiple technical and behavioral interviews. Now, the pay might be hard to believe, but trust me, I did my research. I know a kid who worked in fintech, and he made around $70 an hour during his internship. And that's most definitely not out of the ordinary. If you manage to get into one of these companies, you'll make over $11,000 a month as an intern. That's $28,000 throughout the entire summer if you have a 10-week internship. Bruh. You don't need one of these insanely competitive, high-paying internships to be successful. Just focus on getting internships that value your time and will give you important skills, and you'll be set. Now, if your mind was blown as much as mine, be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you in my next video. But until then, take care.